I am. Yeah, what's it called? I just caught the well, not just caught, but I watched the episode 5 of What If, where like, what if zombies? And this is basically where Marvel meets The Walking Dead, pretty much. Yeah. Starts off with Bruce Banner landing back on Earth in Doctor Strange's Sanctum Sanctorum. But both it and the city look like fucking I Am Legend. It's bare as hell. And so is Bruce Banner, actually. So what happens is he dons a sorcerer outfit and ventured outside, and he's about to be attacked by Thanos' minions until he gets saved by what appears to be Iron Man, Doctor Strange, and Wong. I say it appears to be because they're zombified. Yes. He's about to get eaten too until he gets saved by Hope Van Dyne, who's now donned the Wasp superhero outfit, and your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, who fills him into what's happened in the neighborhood. Yeah, in this what-if reality, the point of divergence is 2 weeks prior to Avengers Infinity War. Yeah, 2 weeks prior to the events in that film, Dr. Hank Pym, he goes into the quantum realm, the microverse, and he searches for his wife, Janet Van Dyne. He finds her, but he finds out that she contracted a quantum virus, which corrupts her brain and makes her all zombified and whatnot. They return back into the real world, zombified, and the first thing they do is attack Scott Lang, who in this one is voiced by Paul Rudd, who has all kinds of cornball dad jokes, which he lampshades by his own admission. Yeah, they attack Scott Lang, and then they move on to the entire Pacific Northwest, where they infect everybody. And these zombies in here, they look just like The Walking Dead, only animated. The Avengers were sent in to stop these Walking Dead zombies, but they got consumed by them too and made part of their minions. Next, we come to surviving the zombie apocalypse, which is really a comedic orientation infomercial done by Peter Parker, Spider-Man, a very deadpan Happy Hogan, Jon Favreau, Kurt, one of Scott Lang's criminal boys from Ant-Man. Yeah, basically they're saying that to survive the zombie apocalypse, you gotta know that the zombies, they transfer the virus by saliva. Yeah, and so skin-to-skin contact, that's a no-no. What else? And they're attracted to flesh, so the less hygienic you are, the more stronger their attraction to you is. So if you a right motherfucker, they will come after you and eat you like your nanny on her babysitter's nap time. Actually, that didn't sound right, so scratch that. Forget I said that. In the infomercial, Sharon Carter and the Winter Soldier, Bucky Barnes, they also participate. Okoye with the Dora Milaje, she's voiced by the original actress that played her, Danae Guri. I'm not gonna try to butcher her name, but it's the same chick that played her in the Black Panther movie. What happens is she tells them that they found a survivor camp, and that this survivor camp, they actually have a cure for the zombie apocalypse. And the location of the camp is in New Jersey. Where in Jersey? Shield's first base, Camp Lehigh. I think it was a nice touch of how they, in order to get some viable transportation to get to Jersey from New York City at this point, I like how it was a nice touch that Hank Pym, Happy Hogan, he's driving a van to get them there, but it's shrunken down by the Pym particles, but we don't know that until a giant zombie, what appeared to be a giant zombie, attacked them, and he just put the van back up to normal size to kill off the zombie. Yeah, the plan that they got in Grand Central Station is to hotwire a train to get to New Jersey. They split up in teams, much to Spider-Man's dismay, and what happens is Happy Hogan, he gets turned, and we see a zombified Hawkeye and the Falcon. They show up. Yeah, Dora Milaje, Okoye, she just splits Sam Wilson in two in order to save Bucky Barnes. That was a good scene. The more train station zombies, they also appear as well too. Mainly civilians who've been turned. They appear, they attack the others, and the train that they were trying to hotwire, it's ready thanks to Peter Parker. And he gets saved and brought into the train by, get this, Doctor Strange's cape, which has a mind of its own even without the Sorcerer Supreme around. Okoye, on the train, she apologizes to Peter about not going with his idea of avoiding splitting up, because look what happened to them. A few of them are no longer there. Suddenly, Sharon, in one part of the train, Sharon Carter, she's attacked by Captain America, a zombified Captain America, who now attacks Bucky Barnes, who comes to her rescue, and he manages to use Cap's shield against him to split him in half. And he keeps Cap's shield for the rest of the episode, too. Meanwhile, Sharon Carter, who's now zombified after her attack from Captain America, she gets beaten by Hope Van Dyne, and Hope just shrinks herself and just grows inside of her to break her apart. But the problem with that is, Hope now has a cut on her arm, which means she's now infected. She's down but not out, thanks to a kind of a cheesy pep talk by Peter Parker. The train loses fuel, but they have to walk through the zombies in order to get to the camp. So Hope proposes a plan in order to avoid the zombies. She grows to giant size and keeps everybody in the palm of her hands until she can get them over to the other side of the camp. Mission accomplished, as the zombies finally get her. Of all people, the Vision, he finally appears, and he reveals that the Mind Stone that's in his head is what is keeping the zombies at bay. He used experiments in order to try to negate the virus and effectively found a cure, starting with Scott Lang, who is now basically a head in a jar, telling all kinds of corny puns and dad jokes. The Vision, he shoots down a number of theoretical ideas about the cure, but Okoye, she counters that that Wakanda, being a last bastion of human sanctuary, can actually broadcast the cure using the Mind Stone and their science. Banner, he discovers that according to security logs, that they ain't the first people to respond to the Vision signal to come to the camp. And Bucky, while canvassing the camp, he encounters Wanda Maximoff. Yeah, Wanda is here, or rather, a zombified Wanda Maximoff, a zombified Scarlet Witch, and he also encounters T'Challa, the Black Panther, laid out on the table, but only with one leg, just like Bob from The Walking Dead. So I was waiting for that motherfucker to start yelling out, "Tainted meat!" But what happens is, they rejoin the others, which is where they expose the Vision's ruse. Not COVID. It turns out he picked up the Black Panther in San Francisco, but really wanted him for takeout, as the Black Panther put it, so he could feed him to Wanda. It turns out when Wanda got infected, her powers were too strong in order to facilitate a cure. So the Vision's logical step was to contain her and keep on feeding her. Yeah, to keep on feeding this bitch. When Wanda reappears, she attacks and kills both Kurt and Okoye, which makes the Vision finally switch sides and be a turncoat to his wife. Clear my throat, my bad. He wants to help. He wants to help the others, so he kills himself by tearing out the Mind Stone gem from his head and leaving Banner to pick it up and leaving Bucky Barnes to keep Wanda at bay. Wanda manages to use her reality warping power to hurl Bucky Barnes away, right? And as she attacks Banner, who along with the others is on his way to one of the last Avengers Quinjets that could facilitate their escape, Banner learns right then and there that when Wanda tried to bite his arm, he turned it into the Hulk, and the Hulk, even a part of him as the Hulk, is actually immune to the zombie virus. So knowing this, he covers their escape, and as they escape, just Scott Lang's head in a jar, Peter Parker, and the Black Panther, Hope Van Dyne, a now zombified, gigantic Hope Van Dyne, makes one last grab at the escape jet, but it doesn't work. Meanwhile, T'Challa, Spidey, and Scott Lang's head, they make their way to Wakanda. Their plan is to use the Mind Stone in order to broadcast a cure for the world. But here's a twist. Thanos is still out there on Earth with 5 out of 6 of the Infinity Stones, and he wants number 6. So that reality is going to end with a snap. The parts I like best about the episode are the humor, especially from Okoye. She had some of the best lines in the episode. In fact, some of the best lines in the episode, I thought, starting with Happy Hogan. Just when I thought things couldn't get any worse, we gotta go to Jersey. Blam, blam! he actually effectuated the sound effect of him using Tony Stark's repulsor ray. Bam, bam, blam, blam. And Spider-Man and Okoye. Splitting up? Do you guys just not have horror movies in Wakanda? We don't need them. We have American reality TV shows. Like Sick Burn. And what's it called? When Okoye killed the Falcon, and this is a nice nod to Falcon and the Winter Soldier. After she killed the Falcon, split him in two, she says to Bucky, "If that was your friend, sorry about that." Then Bucky is like, "I should be sad, but I'm not." After Hope Van Dyne kills Sharon Carter, she's all covered in she has Sharon's entrails all over her. She's like, guys, I'm covered in Sharon. Nikita's hand sanitizer. And then Vision's like, when Wanda finally awakes, the Vision's like, "You have awakened her. She hasn't eaten in days." The things I didn't like about the episode, it's a direct rip off The Walking Dead, but the difference is Marvel made these zombies somewhat intelligent. And they can't speak. Their sole function is to feed on human flesh and convert them over, but when they're not feeding, they're actually very well coordinated. They can fight. Oh, you should see the fight scene between Bucky Barnes and Cap. It was just like something that you see in the movie. It's like, why did you? They're not really mindless. It's like they still got a spark of intelligence in them. If you're gonna go full zombie, if you're gonna go full retard, go all the way. But I'm looking forward to next week's episode, though. I heard it involves Thor, and it might be the reason why What If Volume 10. I mean, What If number 10 from Volume 1, why that's worth like over $2,000 now. Yeah, and that issue, What If number 10, is basically what if Jane Foster gained the power of Thor and has her on the cover. If that's the case, then I'm glad I kept both of my copies, because I'm going to sell one of them fuckers. Tune in next week, same time, same place. Peace.